Aloha, Cary Hiroyuki Tagawa, sitting with my friend Jiro and discussing the history of his band, things that we have in common, me in film and he in rock and roll. So the first time I saw you and didn't know it was in Lethal Weapon, and that was in, what year was that?
That was 1987.
87, so that was 1 year after I began my career. And in those days, there wasn't very much Japanese presence in Hollywood, and of course, there was zero presence in American rock and roll. So you must have been the first Japanese to really enter American rock and roll.
That's correct. That's correct. As far as I know, we're the first Japanese, the band formed in the United States.
Mm. And how did that situation come about to be part of Lethal Weapon?
Oh, well, we've been playing local scene in LA, a lot of nice venues like Madame Wong's. One night we were playing at Madame Wong. Just happened to be the director of the movie from the Warner Brothers. Mm. The gentleman was there, saw our show, and he really liked it, and he approached my manager, Miss Billion. He would use us for the movie. Of course, I didn't know what's the name of the movie then. And then the next day, he called our management office, and we worked out a great deal. Do some 2 songs featuring the movie, and also actually we are in the movie, luckily, and that was excited.
And so you were on the soundtrack for the movie too, or?
Basically, the soundtrack was made exclusively Eric Clapton, but they used 2 songs that I wrote in the movie.
Wow. Mm-hmm. And what is your history in coming to Japan? You were how old when you started playing guitar?
Well, started playing like age of 11 years old. I have elder brother and sister. They've been always playing rock and roll all through the day. So I, get inspired by my sister and brother, start playing the guitar. That's the way I started playing the music.
But you didn't actually create a band in Japan, or?
Oh no, I never did that. I've always wanted to play in the United States. Since I was like maybe the age of 14, I really decided to become rock and roller. And I didn't have any interest in playing in Japan at all. I really wanted to come to the United States. That's been all my dream,
So you sort of made this promise with yourself that you wouldn't create what you really wanted to do was create a band, but it would only be in America.
Yes, I wanted to be like, I always want to be the one of the kind, to start new project, never be a follower, wanted to be a leader, do something different. A little crazy,
You're speaking like me. Exactly like that. I was very much not wanting to be a follower, and there had been other Asian actors in Hollywood, but I really wanted to wait for the right moment, and that patience. And we were talking about our years, the same, yeah, animal, tiger. And tigers are very patient if they know what they want.
Right.
And so I waited a long time, sounds like you did. What were your early influences in music?
I like Chuck Berry.
Yeah,
that was great rock and roll.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was definitely the beginnings.
Yes, absolutely. He's my hero, yeah. I love Chuck Berry.
And when you came here, how did you find Hollywood, LA, in the rock era that you came? How did you begin in that?
Well, it's probably all these, the foreigner, the first thing when they're thinking about entertainment, what they're thinking is like, all the Hollywood. So I was actually the same way, when I was in Japan and reading magazines and talking about rock and roll, Hollywood and all that things. And I made up my mind and came to Hollywood. And obviously, it was so different, a lot of different culture, or different type of thinking. So that was very, very shocking. And wow, how to explain, but it was excited, really excited.
So it was a crazy time in America. I think every decade in America has its own craziness. And you found it was shocking, and yet you jumped right in. What was your first experience in American hockey?
Well, it is very funny, but didn't know what to start from. So I took my bass guitar and a little small miniature amplifier. I played on the Hollywood Boulevard.
Wow.
You know, for like, maybe I would say, maybe a couple months, and then start meeting, a lot of musicians walk by, passing by, and that was quite an experiment. Then after that, luckily, I meet a couple, the great musicians and start playing with them.
Wow.
And, yeah. You got to start doing something.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's exactly. I started on Venice Beach.
Oh, wow.
And on the weekends when they have a lot of people walking back and forth. And,
Right.
I had to kind of exercise that I was doing, kind of Tai Chi speed, and I put on some music and like an entertainer.
Right,
on the boardwalk. So it continues to be a very similar idea.
That's right.
And then what was the first time you actually hit the stage with one of those groups, and what group was it?
Well, first actually I joined the American band, but really didn't go, too far. And then I'm start thinking, I think I want to make a Japanese band together, because it would be a band ever made in the United States for the Japanese band. That was the first time we formed the band Kamikaze. It was back in 1982.
And how was it that you progressed from there? You started playing local venues as Kamikaze?
Yes. Our debut was actually really, really lucky again. There was a big event, and they call the Japanese American Culture Festival. That was held in the LA Convention Center for 3,000 people. They have an event for the rock festival. So actually, that was our debut.
Wow.
So, we were lucky.
Yeah.
We were very lucky on that time, yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Then after that, and so many people want, book us locally. That was the start of Kamikaze.
Wow. And then, as we talked about before, you were having problems with your Japanese members.
Yes. They unfortunately, any other foreign, people come to the United States, they have a issue, the visa problem. And then each time when the visa cuts, I have to search for other members, keep changing. And, it is a very, very tough time I've been going through.